Gokhale Education Society's CC Committee welcomes you to online teaching. Presentation by Trupti Jadhav, Department of English. Welcome, dear students of Standard 11th. In yesterday's lecture, we studied a beautiful poem, Cherry Tree. Today, we are going to study the appreciation of the poem Cherry Tree, written by Ruskin Bond. Before beginning the poetry or appreciation, I would like to discuss with you about the evaluation pattern of poetic appreciation. Evaluation pattern of appreciation. In exam, this question is asked as question number 4b. Write the appreciation of the poem. And some of the points will be given to you, and accordingly you have to write down the answer. This question carries 4 marks. So let's begin with the appreciation of the poem Cherry Tree. Now, what exactly appreciation means? Appreciation means to recognize and enjoy the good qualities of someone or something. Poetry appreciation is that attitude about poetry. Now, there are some of the objectives of appreciation. Understand and appreciate poetry as a literary art form. Analyze the various elements of poetry, such as diction, tone, form, genre, imagery, figures of speech, symbolism, theme, etc. Broaden our vocabularies and to develop an appreciation of language. Develop our critical thinking skills. Develop a deeper appreciation of cultural diversity by introducing them to poetry from a variety of culture throughout the world. Develops our own creativity, enhance our writing skills also. Now first we'll discuss about the format of appreciation. Now some of the points will be given about the poem, poet and title. Second, theme, summary, gist of the poem. Third, poetic style, language, poetic devices used in the poem. Special features, novelties, focusing elements. Next, message, values, morals in the poem. And the last one, that is your opinion about the poem. Now, poetic appreciation about the poem, poet, and title. Title of the poem, Cherry Tree. Cherry Tree makes the reader wonder why a tree is important enough for a poet to write about it. The title Cherry Tree indicates to the reader that the poem has something to do with nature. According to me, appropriate title is given by the poet. The poet Ruskin Bond is the nature poet and nature lover. His life in the beautiful hills of Missouri has provided the settings for many books of stories and poems. The poem follows the relationship of the narrator and the trees over several years. Now, about the poem. This is a nature poem written in a narrative style. The poem is about the poet's ecstasy over a tree which he placed. He expresses his joy to see the tree growing, and he feels happy to see the blue sky through green leaves of cherry tree. Now, poetic appreciation. theme, summary, gist of the poem. The poet had a desire to have his own tree, so he placed and forgot. In spite of many threats, the tree grew and attracted birds and gave him abundant joy. Poetic style, language, poetic devices used in the poem. Now, styles mean which type of poem is that? Now, this is a narrative and a nature poem that describes the sapling of cherry tree, which later gets transformed into a big tree. Now, how is the language of the poem? The language is very simple and lucid to understand. Even an ordinary average reader can also understand it. Now, poetic devices are the figures of speech, the rhyming words, and the rhyming scheme, which is used to enhance the poetry. The poet has used figurative language, figures of speech like alliteration, antithesis, personification, and climax has been used in the poem. Now, special features, novelties, focusing elements. The poem seems to make the reader aware that a small effort, if nurtured carefully without giving up, can bring rich rewards. It is a happy poem that kindles hope. Message, values, moral in the poem. The poem has more than one message. It has the message to persist in the struggle to achieve a goal. There is a message of hope when one can only despair. There is a message to love trees and plant and grow greenery whenever we can. It will inspire children to sow seeds and look after the plants for the several years that they take to grow. Then later they can enjoy the fruits. Now, your opinion about the poem. I enjoyed the poem. It was interesting to read the sapling growing into a tree as the boy grew into a responsible young man. So, students, according to me, you must have understood the poetic appreciation. Good luck and thank you very much for listening.